Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua needs to be the fight that is made next. It has to be. There's not going to be any better time than to make it right now. Tyson Fury versus Arsenbek Makhmudov. Tyson Fury wins by unanimous decision. Conor Benn wins over Regis Prograis in the co-main event. I'm going to say this very quickly. This event, like, to me, went under the radar, like, significantly. Like, I remember when this fight was announced, and I talked about it last week when we were talking about Chisora versus Wilder. I forgot it was this weekend. Maybe it was just because I was so caught up on UFC 327 and I was very excited for that. But this event flew under the radar for me. Like, it really did. I was excited for. I was gonna watch this card. It was in the morning yesterday before UFC 327, but I unfortunately couldn't watch it because I had to go somewhere. But I haven't watched the full fights, both the full fights back. I watched the highlights, but everyone seems to have the same opinion that it was two very just okay performances from the both of them. It looked like Tyson Fury was a fighter that was coming out of retirement to fight a guy who and Makhmudov, who had a good win streak put together, but that isn't on his level. And with Conor Benn, it seemed like I mean, by the look of his face and the cuts that he had, it looked like he took some damage. It seemed like it was a very, like, kind of a bit of a gritty fight that he had to get through. I mean, Regis Prograis didn't from the highlights didn't look the best either. But and it's probably a fight where you're expecting Conor Benn to come out and get a KO win, but even Prograis is a very hard guy to knock out. First of all, yeah, man, it's just it probably wasn't the performances that not only the promoters but the fans as well were expecting from the both of them. Probably expected the both of them to get knockouts and or TKOs in these fights, but didn't end up being that way. Conor Benn has been calling out Ryan Garcia after this win. I don't know. I still don't know where I stand on where I think Conor Benn can be in terms of the talks of the best in the world. He's talking about going to 147. It's probably where he's gonna fight next, but he's been calling out Ryan Garcia, and obviously there's been talks of when he went on Ariel Helwani show and was talking with Shakur Stevenson as well. Just all these different fights that he wants to have, but I still am very. I don't know where I stand in terms of what his level is and how good he is compared to the best guys in the division. Moving on to Tyson Fury defeats Makhmudov and afterwards calls out Anthony Joshua to come to the ring to face off, promote that fight, to really push to make it happen this year. AJ didn't want to beat to Tyson Fury's drum, and it was basically saying that he was and will forever be the A side. He does what he says and whatever else he said, but yeah, it probably isn't the best way or the way that people were imagining this fight to be getting made in terms of, like, what is the best outcome that could have happened from Tyson Fury calling him out in the ring. He gets up, he gets in the ring and they face off. They start talking shit to each other, and there's even more hype now that the fight can be made for 2026. But AJ denying to get in the ring and do the face off, it kind of puts you off in a way because you're so hopeful in that moment that the fight is actually going to get made for this year, and we're finally going to get this massive super fight. One of the biggest fights that can be made in boxing, I'll argue, is the biggest one that can be made right now. This fight needs to happen, dude. It needs to happen, and hopefully this year, because there is no better time than now. You have all the hype in the world. Tyson Fury, he's had his comeback fight. AJ, we were talking about last week, could have been. I was saying Wilder versus AJ was a good matchup for the both of them, and not only in terms of it would make them a lot of money, but also because for AJ it would be a good matchup because I could see him just absolutely destroying Deontay Wilder and knocking him out. And it's not to say that I think this Fury and AJ fight is in his prime anymore, because it isn't. This fight in his prime was around that time of when we were getting the first Wilder and Fury fights, and back in 2018, 2019, around there. Those that around that time was probably the best time, and when it was in its prime and should have been made. Missed that opportunity because of all the, I mean, all of the crap that comes with getting these fights done, and making them actually happen with all the promoters, all the problems with the promoters, and just the negotiations. Things can fall through a lot of the time. The opportunity to make the fight has already passed once. You cannot miss this opportunity right now. You cannot miss it. I want this fight so bad. Like, I cannot wait for the day I wake up and I see on my phone Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, or AJ would say he's the A side. So Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, official. It will be the greatest and most anticipated day in boxing fans history. Like, seeing that official announcement, seeing the official poster that it's gonna go down, and it's gonna happen in England, in a mass at Wembley. Dude, it's gonna be amazing. But it's just, one minute you're hopeful that it can happen, and the other you're really not. So there's also the other thing of it too, because AJ as well, we don't really know towards when he's really looking back to officially come back to boxing. Obviously, he had beat Jake Paul in his last fight. What is actually like happening in the world right now? Well, I'm saying Anthony Joshua just beat Jake Paul, but anyway, beat Jake Paul, but obviously is going through a bit of, lost two of his friends in a horrible accident. It was very, very, very horrible. Very, very sad, and he's obviously still going through that, and it's just a mix of emotions, and none of us really know when it is that he is going to officially come back. Yeah, Tyson Fury said it too in the post-fight press conference, man, that if the AJ fight is not next, he's going to retire again, and I absolutely believe him. I mean, he's done it before. Why would he not do it again? And I don't think that's a bad thing to say. Like, I don't think either of these guys are scared of each other, or have ever avoided each other ever in the course of their history. Like, we're talking about guys that have been the best in the world in their primes, and well, they're not scared of each other. I just think it's been a negotiation thing, and deciding who's the A side and this, that, the other, whatever. But this fight needs to happen, man. Tyson Fury seems so game to make it happen. Anthony Joshua has always wanted to make it happen as well. Yeah, he said if AJ's not next, he's gonna retire, and he doesn't care about any other fight. He doesn't want to fight any prospects, and he doesn't want to be world champion again. But he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, and the fight needs to happen. The fight's absolutely massive. It would be the biggest fight in British boxing, and it would be the biggest fight, one of the biggest fights boxing can make. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it can happen this year. I really am. I believe they'll pull it off, and they'll finally deliver to us the fight that we've all been waiting for. Yeah, it's exciting, but I just hope that it does get done. Has to be next for the both of them. I don't want to see Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder. I said last week it would be a good matchup for him, but after this call out, I now know that this is the fight that has to get made. Doesn't need a layout fight versus Wilder. I think he would destroy Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua needs to be next. I thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.